Hello and welcome guys to a new episode on SportPredictorFanatic. Today we're going to predict the round of 6 matches in the La Liga. Of course, I'm first going to do the prediction part of the video and then we're getting into the betting part of the video. So let's just get into it. We're first going to start with Alaves against Sevilla. Alaves has started the season with 7 points out of 5 matches, where last match they did lose 3-2 against Espanyol. Sevilla have started the season with 5 points out of the 5 matches, but they did win last match against Getafe with 1-0. Last season, Alaves and Sevilla played each other twice, with Alaves winning both matchups. I think both teams are quite equal, the form is quite equal, and I just can't really seem to pick a favorite here because I really can't. I think I'm going to go with a draw right here. Then we have a Valladolid against Real Sociedad. Valladolid have started the season with 4 points out of the first 5 matches in the Liga, with the last 2 matches being against Barcelona and Celta, which were of course lost. Real Sociedad also isn't doing great with 4 points, but in 6 matches already, and also they lost 2 matches, but the last 2 matches, but they were against Real Madrid and Mallorca. The last time Valladolid and Sociedad played each other was in 2023, where Valladolid won. I do think Real Sociedad do have the better squad here, but I mean their form is pretty terrible. But I still think against a struggling Valladolid, I think Sociedad have to win to save their season already. So I'm going to go for Real Sociedad. Then we have Osasuna against Las Palmas. Osasuna have started off the season with 7 points out of the first 5 games, but they did lose the last match against Rayo Vallecano with 3-1. Las Palmas have started off the season with only 2 points out of the first 5 games, and with that are yet to win a match. They also lost their last 2 matches, being to Alaves and Athletic de Club de Bilbao. Last season, Osasuna and Las Palmas, of course, played each other twice, with both ending in a 1-1 draw. I think Osasuna do have the better team here, and even though they lost their last matchup, I still think they have a better form, and with that should get the W here. Then we have Valencia against Girona. Valencia started the season with winless, with no wins in the first 5 games, and not only have they been winless, they only have 1 point. They have 1 draw and 4 losses. To be fair to them though, they have had a hard schedule with Barcelona, Celta de Vigo, Atletico Bilbao, Villarreal, which by the way was the draw, and then Atletico Madrid, of course. A tough fixture at the beginning. Girona has started off the season with 7 points out of the first 5 games, but also their losses against tough opponents in Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Of course, they also lost their Champions League fixture earlier this week against PSG, where PSG was definitely better, but they only scored in the 90th minute. So I think Girona will feel quite painful there. Last season, Valencia and Girona played each other twice, with Girona winning actually both matchups. I think Girona have got the better team and will get back to winning ways here. Then we go to Real Madrid against Espanyol. Real Madrid have started the season off quite good, with first a win in the Super Cup, then 11 points out of their first 5 matches in La Liga, and then won their Champions League fixture earlier this week against Stuttgart. With that, Real Madrid are still unbeaten, but I think they won't be happy with those 2 draws in the La Liga. Espanyol started the season with 2 losses in the La Liga, then a draw. But the last 2 matches, they actually did win against Rayo Vallecano and Alaves. The last time Real Madrid and Espanyol played each other was in 2023, where of course Real Madrid won the matchup. The last time Real Madrid lost at home against Espanyol is all the way back to 1996. Since then, 23 wins for Real Madrid and 4 draws, with actually the last 10 matches won by Real Madrid. And I think they're going to extend the streak as they are looking way, way better than Espanyol. So with that, I'm going to go for Real Madrid. Then we have Getafe against Leganés. Getafe started the season with 3 draws and then 2 losses. And with that are only on 3 points after 5 matches. With a loss earlier this week against... and they did lose earlier this week against Betis. Leganés have started off the season with 5 points from their first 3 games, but lost the last 3 games, and with that are still stuck on 5 points. They lost earlier this week against Athletic de Club de Bilbao. The last time Getafe and Leganés actually played against each other was in 2023, where Getafe won the match. I think Getafe do have like the slightly better team. And I think they have looked slightly better as well in their form, like in the matches. So with that, I'm going for Getafe, but I think it could be a really close match. Then we have Athletic de Club de Bilbao against Celta de Vigo. Bilbao started the season off with 10 points from the first 6 games, with losses against Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Of course, absolutely no shame, but the last 2 matches were won with... within it, a win loss earlier this week against Leganés. Celta have started off the season with 9 points out of 5 matches, where last week they beat Real Valladolid. Last season, Bilbao and Celta played each other twice, with both times the home team winning the matchup. I think Bilbao do have the better team, although Celta don't have a bad team. But I think Bilbao should get the W right here. Then we have Villarreal against Barcelona. Villarreal has started the season off with 11 points out of the first 5 matches, and with that are still unbeaten. Last week they did beat Mallorca. Barcelona have had a perfect start with winning all 5 matches in the Liga, but in the Champions League earlier this week they lost pretty surprisingly against Monaco, which of course wasn't really helped by an early red card, like I think it was in like the 20th minute or something. So yeah, there is that. But last season Villarreal and Barcelona played each other twice, with actually both times the away team winning the matchups. And actually the last time Villarreal won at home against Barcelona is all the way back to 2007. Since then, 12 wins for Barcelona and 5 draws, with the last 5 games going to Barcelona. I think Barcelona and Villarreal have both looked pretty good this season. But Barcelona has looked slightly better, so because of that I'm going to go for a Barcelona win right here. Then we have Rayo Vallecano against Atletico Madrid. Rayo Vallecano started the season with 7 points from their first 5 matches. Last week they beat Osasuna. Atletico Madrid have started the season with 11 points out of the 5 La Liga games, and earlier this week followed this up with a Champions League win against Leipzig, which was of course really good and really important for them. With this, Atletico are still unbeaten this season. Last season, Rayo Vallecano and Atletico Madrid have played each other twice, with both times Atletico Madrid winning the matchup. The last time actually Rayo Vallecano won this matchup was in 2013. Since then, 13 wins for Atletico Madrid and only 3 draws. But I think Atletico, of course, are looking stronger at this moment than Rayo Vallecano, and with that will get the W. Then we have Real Betis against Mallorca. Betis started the season with qualifying for the Conference League, which was easily reached by beating Krivbas 5-0 on aggregate. In the Liga, they're on 8 points out of the first 5 matches played, with the last 2 matches having won against Leganés and Getafe. Mallorca have started the season with 8 points out of the last 6 matches, with the last one being won against Real Sociedad. Last season, of course, Betis and Mallorca played each other twice, with Betis winning both matches. The last time Mallorca actually won against Betis was back in 2013, and since then there have been 8 wins by Betis and 2 draws. Has to be said, the last 5 were actually won by Betis. And I think Betis are going to extend the streak, as they've been looking way better than Mallorca. And even though they're not that far off in points, I think Betis will get the W here. Then we get into the betting part of the video. I will say which matches I'm gonna go for, and it is gonna be Alaves against Sevilla. And I actually expect them to draw. The odds for that is 3.2. Then we have Sociedad. I expect them to win their matchup. The odds for that is 2.19. Then we have Osasuna. I expect them to win. The odds for that is 1.91. Then I expect Girona to win their matchup. The odds for that is 2.51. And then I have Getafe to win their matchup. The odds for that is 2.05. So I'm going to go for 5 matches. What I'm going to do is my basic betting strategy, basically putting 0.5 euros on the doubles and the trebles. So if there are 2 right, I will get my money. If there are 3 right, I will get more. If the 4 right, I get more. And if the 4 right, I get the maximum. If 5 right, I get the maximum. So of course we're going for that. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that. So with that, in total 10 euros. But for now, I want to thank you all for watching. Please have a great day, and I will see ya.